Hi again, so this is the third skills video for variables, and in the last lesson, as you know, we looked at controls and controlled variables, and the first point to make is why we have controls and why we have controlled variables, and the reason is to make our experiment more valid. So validity means something very specific in science and biology, and it involves making, if you like, your experiment fair is the word you really want to think of most of all. So keeping things the same, using a control, all of that makes an experiment more valid. So there's a couple of other words I'm going to just mention just now. First one is accuracy, and again, this means something different from validity in science. This makes us helps us to understand how precise our results are. So to make an experiment more accurate, we would record our results at shorter intervals, and there's a good example there for temperature. Okay, to get a more precise measurement of, for example, the temperature that something's working best at. But more commonly, uh, as well as validity, the other thing that you're asked about in experiments is reliability. And you probably know that for reliability, this is the one where we repeat our experiment and take an average. However, so that's what makes it more reliable. However, you can't just say, if you're asked how would this experiment be made more reliable, you can't just say we would repeat the experiment and take an average. You must describe which aspect of the experiment you will repeat. And we'll look at an example in a little while of how to do that. Okay, so that's validity, accuracy and reliability, with validity and reliability coming up in biology most common of all. So again, here's this little experiment. It's set up to look at the effect of lead nitrate solution concentration on the rate of respiration in yeast. So that was the aim. So we've already established that the lead ion concentration is an independent variable, and we're measuring respiration rate in yeast, so that would be our dependent variable. So that's the setup of the experiment. I really go with that. Just going to hide this little box. Okay. And the question we're going to ask you is list two controlled variables that are not already mentioned. And this comes up quite a lot in biology, whereby you're asked to list controlled variables that are not being mentioned so far. So there's obviously quite a few that are mentioned. Okay, so if you just pause the video just now and have a go at that, we're looking for two controlled variables that haven't been mentioned already. Okay, so the controlled variables that are mentioned, so this is not what the question's asking, but just to pick those out, it does mention temperature of water bath. You can see it there at 20 degrees Celsius. It does mention the volume of yeast. Okay, so that's mentioned in the little paragraph here. It mentions the volume of glucose solution. It mentions how long they left it for. It also mentions another time, which is the time which the samples were taken. So there's lots of ones that are mentioned, but hopefully you managed to find one of these, or two of these, sorry, that weren't mentioned. Okay, here they come. The first one is type of use. This is one of the ones from your list, if you remember. Type of or species of, or whatever it is useful one to put. For yeast, the proper word is strain, but you don't need to know that, so it's type of yeast will do. Concentration of yeast solution. So although it mentions the volume of yeast, because it's a liquid, we could also talk about the concentration of yeast. So concentration and volume are two different aspects of the liquids. Also, likewise for a glucose solution, if you look carefully, it mentions the volume of glucose solution in the little table here, but again, it doesn't mention the concentration. So concentration of glucose, they would also have to keep the same to make this a fair or valid, as we call it, experiment. And finally, pH of solutions. So also pH is not mentioned at all, so that would be a good thing. Note it's not just pH, it's pH of something. And that's quite a useful thing to think about. Temperature of water bath, pH of solutions. So that's another good tip as well. Another question then, describe a suitable control to show that lead nitrate is affecting respiration in yeast. So now we're not talking about constant variables, we're talking about a control experiment. So how would you set up an experiment to show that lead nitrate is the thing that's affecting respiration in yeast and it's not some other factor? Just a quick reminder, this is what we've seen already, what a control is for. But that little sentence at the end there is really going to help us here, because that's exactly how we're going to frame the answer to this particular question. So if we just use that phrase and put the words in from this specific experiment, we can actually get the answer. So we carry out the experiment the same way with the same apparatus, but we replace the lead nitrate solution with the same volume of water. Okay, so you can see I'm just editing that little sentence there to get the answer.